Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Entrepreneur. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here and you happen to really like this video, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and ring that bell notification. So anyway, we are going to be talking about Amazon today. Now, there have been some Amazon scandals that have happened the last few days that I probably should have reported on, but I didn't. Amazon's kind of like Uber. I mean, you can certainly complain about them, and there's a lot to complain about them, but you get to a point and it's like, it's not that I never want to talk about this company again, but I kind of want a different angle at the very least. And apparently we have got that different angle because one of the things that Amazon desperately needs is a competitor. Like, Amazon needs a competitor that can maybe not dethrone them, but at the very least, they need a competitor that will take away some of the monopolistic shares that they have over the economy and kind of bring them down a little bit. Because here's the thing, if Amazon maybe had 20% of the market, maybe no one would care that much. But when they have 50% of overall online sales and they practically control the book market and they dominate any business they enter, that's when there's a problem. Amazon needs to fail a little bit more. And Amazon, it turns out, will be getting an online competitor, at least someone who they hopes will be able to compete with Amazon, and it's from a unique source. It's from Facebook. Yes, Mark Zuckerberg himself wants to take on Amazon and take away some of Amazon's share. Now, here's what's interesting about this. One of the reasons people don't actually declare war on Amazon is because they get laughed out of the room. If your goal is to take on Amazon, more often than not, you will fail. Amazon's just way too big, and you make that known that you're going after them. I think Bezos, I believe Bezos is Lex Luthor. I said it before, but Bezos would take that personally, and he would personally go after that company. I mean, he goes after the companies even when they're not trying to go out of their way to compete with Amazon. He goes after them. But Facebook wants to take them on. And what's interesting about Facebook is they're one of the few companies who has the clout, Google and Apple and maybe Microsoft or other companies, that could potentially do online commerce, like e-commerce, and actually start taking some of that business away from Amazon. Now, do I want a duopoly between Facebook and Amazon? Oh no, that would be a lot worse. But hey, this is an interesting start, right? So let's look at this. Facebook is hoping that its 2.6 billion users will begin shopping on its platform as it unveiled a service that puts it in direct competition with Amazon and eBay. Yeah, by the way, eBay is actually Amazon's biggest competitor. Because if you can't find something on Amazon, you can find it on eBay. And they know that, and they've been trying to change that for years. Hasn't really worked, though. Facebook Shops will allow sellers to create digital storefronts on Facebook or Instagram, the company said on Tuesday, adding that it would benefit by gathering valuable data on what shoppers want. Users will be able to browse products, message businesses to arrange purchases, and in some cases buy them directly via a recently introduced online checkout feature. Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook's chief executive, said in an interview with the FT that he accelerated plans for shops to take advantage of the boom in online shopping during the C-virus crisis. He added that the social media giant would be able to use the data to improve its advertising service and charge more for it. Quote, "If you browse a shop inside of your app or if you buy something, we will see that and we'll be able to hopefully use that to show you better recommendations for other things that you'd be interested in the future. Shops will help businesses, quote, complete the conversion and the transaction of a sale more frequently with less drop-off," he added. This will, in turn, translate into higher bids for advertising. So, this is still a little terrifying. It's still a little terrifying, I'm not going to lie. I don't completely like this idea. I mean, but again, right now we're going from the perspective that, hey, Amazon might have some real competition. So, but here's where it can get scary. So, this makes perfect sense from a business perspective. And yeah, it just does. It absolutely does. But here's the problem. Here's where it is, how it's going to work. You can create your items on your own store, or maybe you just list them on Facebook. I don't know. And Facebook knows what everyone wants. They know more about you than you know of yourself. So, you're going to sell a particular item. And they're going to say, okay, who's been talking about this item? Here's the thing. If it's a pair of Nike shoes, that's pretty much everyone. But let's say you're selling something unique. Like, almost at random, let's say you're selling a Fruits Baskets lithograph that is signed by all the core English cast members, and it's a limited edition of 100 copies, and you've got number 26. That's a pretty unique item. Well, Facebook has enough viewers that they can find probably someone who's looking for that particular item, and they can direct them to your listing. Of course, Facebook will take a cut of every single sale, and they'll probably have a feedback system as well, because of course they have to. Now then, if you have a store that's selling a general item, like let's say you're a store that specializes in bobbleheads. I don't know who collects these anymore. By the way, my sister-in-law got this for me because she knows I like peanuts, and so she got that for me. It was very nice of her. But let's say you sell bobbleheads. You're a store that sells bobbleheads. Well, guess what? You can pay Facebook premium ad dollars to target people on Facebook who like fan pages of bobbleheads. And here's another thing. Let me backtrack for a second. This works both ways, because if Amazon doesn't want to lose those eyeballs, they will pay the money to silence those stores. Otherwise, you could pay big bucks, and you're going to have access to a lot of valuable customers. This is the website, of course, that utilizes the microphone. So, like, hey, if you're just talking about buying something while you're near your phone, next time you go to Facebook, it's going to recommend, do you want to buy this thing? This makes perfect sense for Facebook. And it will give Amazon a run for its money if Amazon's not careful. Because Amazon used to advertise heavily on Facebook. Facebook might not necessarily want to be beholden to Amazon anymore. They might actually start shoving Amazon aside to start taking away their business, which they absolutely can do. Now, where this can become scary, of course, is that Facebook might be too good at this, and they could easily dominate. It's probably going to take a while, but they could, in theory, dethrone Amazon in a very big way. What's more, their advertising is so precise, so pinpoint accurate, that there's almost no other company you can compete with. Now, I do hope that at one point Google will also enter this ring seriously. And I think I've been hearing Walmart is actually doing very well online, although they did decide to shutter Jet recently, one of the stories I didn't talk about. We might talk about that later this week. Who knows? We'll see. But this is fascinating. This is fascinating, and I think, even though I wish it wasn't Facebook, because I have major trust issues with Facebook, I do think Amazon needs a serious competitor. Facebook can be that competitor. They've made their intentions clear. And here's the thing. I think Amazon is big enough that Facebook might not necessarily topple Amazon, but they might bring some more balance. And the balance can also be that since Facebook will not have the warehouses themselves, there will be small businesses or smaller businesses in Amazon who might utilize the Facebook advertising, and they could, in a sense, the small business can take some of that business back from Amazon. Because keep in mind, when you sell on Amazon, Amazon uses that data to basically improve their listings, because they are selling those items too. Facebook isn't going to have a bunch of warehouses everywhere, so that's not a concern for them. Unless Amazon wants to just spend all their money to make sure no one else is at the top of the list when people want to buy something from Facebook, well, then small businesses could actually start getting some of that business back. And Facebook could lead the way, and of course, hopefully, it kind of stays that way. I mean, because the last thing I want is for Amazon to be toppled just for, like, Facebook to take over. That wouldn't be any better. But anyway, that's where we're going to leave this one. What do you think? Type 672 if you got to the end, and leave your comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.